Hi, I'm Alex from HC Labels, and today I'm going to talk you through setting up your print positioning on the Epson C6500. What we need to do is to make sure your print is perfectly central to your label. The Epson C6500 is one of the best and most consistent printers when it comes to print positioning. But the first time you get it out of the box, or the first time you're setting up a new label, the print positioning will be set to 0. So your alignment will be out. You'll have white lines down the side or the top of your label. So what this video is aimed at doing is helping you understand how print positioning works and then allowing you to position your print on your own in the future. So before we align our print, we get our labels into the machine and we have our artwork created. Our artwork needs to be the exact same size as our labels, so no white space around or a different proportion or whatever. Otherwise, you will not be able to line your print. So let's print a label and see how far we are out to start with. So you can see from this print that we've got a large white gap at the top and down the right hand side, and we're overprinting on the other two sides of the label. So the whole artwork needs to effectively move forwards and to the right. So currently everything is set to 0. So how do we align our print? So we go into the menu. So you can use the arrow buttons on the printer to move across right to the menu, and then OK takes you into a menu or into an option. So we go into media settings and we're going to scroll down to media layout first, and then we're going to go down to left and right gap. So with any die cut label, there is a natural gap or a gutter either side of the label to start with. So we're going to set a 2mm gap before we start fine tuning our print position. So in this menu, we're going to set our 2mm gap and then hit done. So once our 2mm gap is set for the sides, we can then print another label and then see how far out we are. So now already actually, our print is pretty much left and right correct. We've got a slight white line across the top here, which we will adjust in our fine print positioning. We're also, I've noticed we're cutting actually into the next label slightly, so we need to adjust our cutter position because really you want to make sure we're cutting in the gap, but also we've got a large white gap at the start of our label. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually adjust our cutter position. We need to ensure that we're actually printing on the whole label. So if you are trimming some of the label off, then actually that will affect the size of the label. So how do we adjust our cutter position? Right, so go back into the menu, we go down to general settings, we go to printer settings, print options, and then there is a cut position menu there. So it's buried deep inside the menus. So here again, we can adjust up and down according to the graphic. So we are cutting too far into the next label. So we're going to adjust our cut position down, probably 2 mil for now. And I go right across, hit done to submit. And then if I go back to the beginning, I don't change anything else. I print another label and I want to see if we're going to cut in the right position. So now we've sorted our cut position, we now need to fine tune that print positioning. So we know we need to come up the label and we need to move right ever so slightly. So we go into the menu, we go to media settings, we go down to print position adjustment, and first of all we're going to adjust our top position. So our top position is out probably by, I'd say about 3mm. So if we move the direction the graphic tells us, we've gone down to 3mm and we'll say done. And then our left position, we could do with moving over ever so slightly, so probably 0.5 mil. So we're just going to move down and then we go back to the beginning, ask it to print another label. And actually our top position is, they are the finest of white lines. So I reckon probably about 0.2, 0.3 of a millimeter still on each direction to adjust, and then we should be about there. So we'll go back into the menu, into media settings, print position adjustment. So our top position, we'll add 0.3 of a mil. Our left position, we'll do the same. And print again. So if you go too far, you can obviously move back. Yes, so we've just crept, perfect top and bottom, but we've just crept a little bit too far. There's the smallest of white line on the base of this side, so actually I need to go back probably 0.1, 0.2 of a mil, and then we should be about there. So I'll do the final adjustment. it's just our left position. We're going to go back 0.2 of a mil. And that is our label perfectly aligned. You might find a little trick that might help. This label itself is 100 by 76 millimeters, but you might find creating your artwork and maybe even your design, maybe you create it 100.5 or 76.5, so you create the tiniest amount of bleed so that when you, ideally when you peel your label away, there is the faintest of outline on the backing material to show that you've completely covered the edge. Because this machine is very accurate, but there'll still be a slight tolerance in maybe print adjustment, or if you've got the rewinder, if it's not perfectly aligned, it might affect the print position slightly. But yeah, that's something you can do to sort of just give yourself a little bit more of a play. But you know, it is consistent, and I would be happy to run this as a job now. So for any help with your Epson C6000 or C6500 print positioning, please get in touch with the team at HD Labels. Thanks for watching.